Flight boss, bitch. You know, for sure. You're now listening to the Mind of Planetary's Moon. Flight boss, the Archangel Uriel. And Dolo here to carry out God duties and motherfucker responsibilities. And right now, I want to talk about hidden gifts. Because this is truly a hidden gift. Now, it may not be seen as a hidden gift based upon how it's been explained. But we're going to get into details. Now, as far as we got to talk about your houses and we got to talk about your planets. Now, you're going to hear a lot of astrologers off the back say that the opposition and the sextile is automatically the bad energies when it comes to the angles. Which, on a surface level, that's right. But things go different in a lot of different ways based upon our spiral we in and what's relative to us. So it's a duality to everything. So when we talk about the houses and talk about the natural planetary alignments, there's a different pattern when it comes to the two. Now before we get into that, we gotta put things in perspective. The signs do not rule the houses. The houses is first. Because the houses is just the energetic fields of locations in the sky before the stars accumulated within these energies. You see what I'm saying? First you just got the frequency vibration. That's the houses. Then it's the planets. The planet may come into this area of life and may resonate with certain locations than other locations. So say like Mars came here and traveled to this area of location. Mars might resonate with this space and this space more than being in this space. So Mars interactions with other planets and asteroids and things of that nature, based upon them rotations that Mars likes to be in, started accumulating the star systems. So the star system Aries and Scorpio accumulated out of the frequency vibrations in the sky that Mars resonated with the most. So this is what Mars is going to have rulership over. This is what Mars gives it power to. This is where those locations in the sky is where Mars feel at home. So everything that get accumulated out of it, all the stars and nebulas or whatever like that get accumulated out of it, is going to be emasculated and, well, I don't want to say emasculated, but, you know, over drowned in the Mars energy. You see what I'm saying? Which Mars is a masculine energy anyway, but that wasn't the right word to use for that. So, you know, you could do that for all the planets, but we're just trying to put things in perspective. It's the houses, the planets, then the signs. So, you know, the houses rule the signs. That's as far as the 12 zodiac, and the planets have certain locations where they feel most comfortable at, where they feel at like they're home, exalted, or when they're away or sleep. You see what I'm saying? And when we start to talk about the houses and things of that nature, this is when you can start understanding your geometrical shape. Your shapeless, formless, odorless, non-flammable gas. Your conscious, your spirit of you. You can see it. You can see your shapeless, formless from a right brain. You can see it from a left brain point of view when you look at your zodiac wheel and start to put all the lines together of how all the angles that your planets is making, and then all the squares and triangles. That's you actually drawn out in a left brain logical way. Your shapeless, formless, odorless, non-flammable gas. That's the pattern it has. That's the conscious. That's your spirit as a totality of you. So when we want to talk about the houses, right? The houses is your life situations. You see what I'm saying? In the situations that's going on within your life. So each 12 houses represents each 12 different perspectives of your life. Each area of your life. So when you're in life, you're here to learn. You're here to experience, right? And you're here to overcome the obstacles that you may have not overcome previously, or or certain obstacles or situations you just need to overcome now in order to get on your spiritual growth. So when we talk about the houses, the oppositions and the squares is actually more positive. They play out positive from a house perspective, but they may play out negative for your natural, like for an example, your natural natal alignments, planet alignments, your natural ones, right? You got sextiles, trines. Sextiles is your opportunities, your natural opportunities that you're going to run into, whether they're good or bad. Trines is going to be your natural gifts, whether they're good or bad. You know what I'm saying? Then the sextiles and oppositions is going to work out as learning processes, and the opposition is going to work out as your obstacles. And the conjunction could play through all of them. You see what I'm saying? So that's where you can see the square and the opposition is negative for your regular alignment, and a sextile and trine is good for your regular alignment. But see, when you going through life, things blur, because see, your house is incorporated also. So when you think you're doing something that's good, it could be bad for your life situation. That's like someone who could get an access of something real fast because they have a sextile or a trine, right? But the houses that this taking place in, right, it could kind of make them overindulge, and then whatever they got access to, right, is actually fucking up their life. It's fucking up something in their actual life. So you see, things blur. This is why you gotta know how to connect the right and left brain, and know how to connect the duality in all aspects in life. So when we talk about the houses, the sextile and trines is they play out negative. When you talk about your natural planet alignments, the sextile and trine work out positive, and the houses that work out negative. Now with your natural planetary alignment, your oppositions and your squares work out negative, and the houses, they work out positive. You see what I'm saying? Because in the houses, they represent your life circumstance, your life situation. So you're here to learn about life. So the squares and opposition naturally plays out better in the houses. So you see, it's a gift and a curse, because you're gonna naturally have a sextile or opposition, right? And then you're gonna naturally have a square and a trine, but and vice versa, you naturally got houses. So you see what I'm saying? So you got to understand the gift and the curse to everything. Now I want to say this also. When we talk about, just in general, when we talk about sextiles and trines and oppositions and squares and things of that nature, people off the bat get a mentality that just because you have a trine and a sextile, overall that's a good thing. Or just because you got an opposition or a square, overall that's a good thing. And that's not true. Really, it highly depends. It really depends on what planets is actually aligning each other, not the actual alignment. Because see, look, the conjunction represents your powers, the opposition represents your obstacles, the trine represents your gifts, the sextiles represents your opportunities, the squares represents your learning processes. Now it really depends on what two planets is aligning each other, because if you got two planets that don't like each other but they're trining, you can have a good gift. You can have a gift to put yourself in bad circumstances and situations, like Pluto trying the moon. You know what I'm saying? You can have Mars sextile, let's say Mars sextile Uranus, right? So that's your intent, willpower, passions, and motivations and goals, which is Mars, is going to experience a lot of opportunities to go through changes, rebellion, people opposing your goals and things of that nature. So if you got a sextile in Uranus, you see what I'm saying? So even though your goals and your goals and your desire and passion gonna appear as unique and original by sextile in Uranus, at the same time, by it being unique and original, it goes through a lot of experiences of going through changes or getting opposed against by others. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, it's deep. So when we want to talk about the houses, now define your hidden gifts, right? Define your hidden gifts. Now you need to go through the bad, which is your natural natal planet alignments. So start to pay attention to your oppositions and your squares, right? Start to pay attention to your oppositions and your squares. I know you want to run to your sextiles. I know you want to run to your trines and conjunctions, which conjunctions can play the outlook of your square, opposition, trine, and sextile in conjunction at any given time. So, you know, with the conjunction, you got to be very careful, because with the conjunction, it's like you got that power in that area of life. So you have to make sure that you're not being too power and controlling over your own or other people's abilities in that area, whatever two planets is conjuncted. And you have to make sure you're not also being too passive, Because if you're being too passive, then situation's gonna go out of hand. That doesn't necessarily need to go out of hand. So you gotta have this weird kind of balance, aka that's where the opposition play in. You gotta kind of weirdly have this kind of gift, aka that's when the trine come in. You have to kind of weirdly see the opportunities that these things is taking place, aka that's when the sextile coming in, and you kind of gotta weirdly learn from your experiences, aka that's when the square come in. See, so the conjunction plays out in so many different fields. Now, when we want to talk about finding hidden gifts, now looking at your looking at your oppositions and your squares. Now, these gonna be natural learning processes. And natural oppositions that you go through every second, minute, hour, day, month, year, decade, throughout your whole life. That's your planetary alignment. So, for an example, this is how you find your hidden gift. And finding your hidden gift is always going through the bad. See, people don't understand when you going through life and then you see the most richest or the most popular people in the world. 9 times out of 10, they went through the most worst situations in the world. You see what I'm saying? It's like a diamond in the dirt. It's like if you was to look at space and see space as just a big old dirt field, and all the stars is the diamonds that's accumulated that haven't been dug up yet. You know what I'm saying? We beneath it all. Like, you can look at it, it's so many different aspects and ways you can look at things, but for the most part, it's like a diamond in the dirt, a diamond in the rough, shine bright like a diamond, like Rihanna said. You know what I'm saying? A diamond in the rough, a diamond in the dirt, a diamond in the dark. You see what I'm saying? But it sparkles and shines, and it's going to find its way out. So going through the aspects that you got obstacles, like me, for an example, my moon opposite Venus. So my emotions and my reactions and who I am is at odds with the way how other people love, appreciate, value, and relate and compromise. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I'm saying? It's kind of hard for me to get with that, and then and vice versa. The way I love, appreciate, value, and how I relate to others and the things I'm willing to compromise with is at odds with who other people are and how they react to things and how they respond. So it's hard for me to connect with love. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes I feel like I have to overdo it, put all my emotions and who I am into it, or don't do it at all, and be very afraid of it and look at it like it's very sticky or icky or something like that. Or somebody appreciate me or somebody love me. Oh, nah, something ain't right with this. You see what I'm saying? So now, as far as an opposition or a square, when we go into the houses, it becomes a hidden gift. So, since my moon opposite my Venus, now when we go into my houses, my moon is in the 4th house, which means my Venus is in the 10th house. So since I'm going through certain situations in my actual life, it actually plays out in favor as in a life situation I can go through, because it's something that I have learned and experienced that someone else may not have had. See, everybody got their dark moments. See, this is why I call it hidden gifts. Diamonds in the dirt, because it's looking at the bad, it's going through the bad to actually find the light through the dark. So now you have this duality of it. Now, since my moon is in the 4th house and my Venus is in the 10th house, right? I'm able to take up. So this is the hidden gift now that I may have never known unless I activated this. But me knowing myself now, I'm able to activate this, and then everybody is doing this to a small degree anyway. It's just everybody doing their energy. You know what I'm saying? It's just how much time you putting into it based upon how much stuff is put in front of you that you have to do first. You have to get a job. You have to pay bills. You got responsibilities. You got all these things in society that you have to take more time, man. But the little bit of time that you put to yourself and doing, everybody in the universe to a small speck, regardless of what realm of reality and illusion that they're in, to a small speck, is still on their spiritual path. Some just may be on it more than others based upon how consciously aware of the illusion that they're in. But everybody is doing it. Some people may take longer, have more lifetimes, more vessels to get there than others, but everybody doing it. So when we talk about the hidden gift right now this will be my hidden gift. I'm able to take now the moon in the 4th house, Venus in the 10th house. This is what's opposing each other. So I'm able to take both of these houses got a certain access I could tap into now that it's a natural gift based upon the actual experiences I went through that I didn't like, based upon these being oppositions and the experiences that I manifested in my life. Turns into a gift, hidden gift. So I'm able to take my private issues, home, family, domestic, You know what I'm saying? How I gain emotional stability amongst myself. That means anything that I do to get into my emotional zone and block out everything else. That's private. That's home. That's the fourth house. So gaining emotional conduct amongst yourself. Gaining emotional stability and however you do it. Whatever you do to make you feel comfortable. Anytime you're emotionally erratic, that means you're not comfortable. You see what I'm saying? The fourth house deals with this. So I'm able to take all the things that make me feel comfortable, and then you will know everything that make you feel comfortable based upon everything that consists of your fourth house. Like, I could get into my details. I got a Scorpio fourth house, and I got the moon and Pluto here. So the things that make me comfortable is deep things, intense, far out things, taboo things, things that other people are not thinking about. I try to gain power and control over these things and dive deeply into them and try to transform many different of my emotions and feelings. Then I have the moon here. This is how I vibrate. This is how I feel like who I am. This is why I like to stay in dark areas or areas underground. You know what I'm saying? It's the flight cave. You see what I'm saying? So this is who I am. This is where I'm at. So my moon is in the fourth house. My moon is private. My emotions and feelings is private a lot of times. So I could become moody or when I'm in uncomfortable situations and things like of that nature. I may not know how to express myself verbally, but you can see the expressions on me. You see what I'm saying? So I'm able to take and then with my moon being here, I think very deeply, privately. This is who I am, and dealing with domestic issues and how I gain emotional stability. That's what makes me comfortable being in a home or or dealing with things that I care about, and the things I care about is deep taboo things. You see what I'm saying? So these is all the things that make me feel comfortable. So y'all see me talking about astrology and this, that, and also these is all the things that make me feel comfortable, right? And I'm able to broadcast it. I'm able to be known for it. I'm able to be seen for it. See, now we talk about the 10th house. How you see how you see how the obstacles of just regular everyday in my life, not knowing myself, or you might know yourself, but I'm just giving you an example. How the moon opposite Venus, and I ran that down. How I'm manifesting a bunch of situations in my life of this complications and the obstacles going between the moon and Venus. But it turns out to be a hidden gift because now I'm able to take domestic issues, home and family, because my moon is in the 4th, Venus is in the 10th. So I'm able to take all the things that make me feel comfortable, that's the 4th house. Then I explain how you would know what makes you feel comfortable in the 4th house by an example. How I said, go to the planets and go to what signs is there. You know what I'm saying? Then I got Scorpio there. I like to be dished off into myself and I got my own fixated way of handling my emotions and feelings, right? Then I got that's how I consist my 4th house. Then and then it's the 10th house. It ends up being a hidden gift. You know what I'm saying? I'm able to broadcast all those things well. I'm able to, you know what I'm saying, be known for it, be seen for it, whether it's bad or good. I'm able to be known for it, be seen for it, and become some type of status. But see, when it's an opposition or square, 9 times out of 10 is looked at as good when it's in the houses, right? And then we can flip it. The 10th house is my status, what I'm known for, how I'm seen. I'm able to take that energy and be able to do that within a home, within the comfortability of my own preservance. So you know what I'm saying? Within the comfortability of my own realm. I get to broadcast and be known for and have some type of status from the comfort of where I'm comfortable at. You see what I'm saying? And it's soaked in to the 4th house. Of all things I explained was in the 4th house. And then the way I'm doing it with the 10th house, my 10th house is Taurus. And how to know what I'm taking from there and putting here, you got to look at your sign and look at what planet there. I got Taurus in the 10th house. So I'm taking the way I broadcast and what I'm known for and my status is stable. Got my own fixated way of thinking and being practical and making sense out of things. You know what I'm saying? And getting and buying material things, or not just buying, but just buying and getting things and utilizing things for my career or for what I want to be known for, my status, or this, that, and the third, right? Then I have Venus here. I love and appreciate and value and relate to these type of things, and I'm willing to compromise with my status and what I'm known for, how I'm seen, and how I'm trying to get from point A to point B in my life. You know what I'm saying? I'm willing to compromise with those things, and then I take all that energy and place it within a realm of reality that I could be comfortable in. It doesn't even necessarily have to be a home. Just anywhere I could be comfortable, and anywhere that I can have access to the things that help me gain emotional stability amongst myself, which I have explained. how you know that is with signs and what planet is in your fourth house. I mean, or whatever, however it go. You can have, let's say Mars square. You can have Mars square the sun, right? So in your life, the sun is your actions, the way you act and how you see things and what you're consciously aware of, right? So how you act, right, is going to be predicated towards your sun. So let's say your sun is in Gemini. So you act and you consciously aware of different ways of communicating and thinking and analyzing and different information out here and things of that nature, and being able to put a bunch of these thoughts in boxes in your head and go back to them like written scripts or something like that, right? And say your Mars is in say in your Mars square. So let's say your Mars is in Pisces. So your intent, willpower, passion, and motivation and desires, right, is drowned in water. So a lot of your intent and passions is drowned in your illusion, but a lot of times your creativity, imagination, and your fantasy realm. But a lot of times you don't go off action, you go off emotions and feelings. And if the vibe is right, that's when you feel the necessary need to go towards your intent and your willpower. Now you might go through a lot of these problems in your life because now the sun is squaring Mars. So now it's like your actions and the way you act, you have to learn from your desires and your passions. They may not always match. So every time you go for your desires and passions, you may have missed a certain action, or you may have not been consciously aware of something. So people think you're in your own world, your own illusion. You're not acting amongst your dream the right way. You see what I'm saying? And then vice versa. Your intent, willpower, passions, and motivations may not even get paid attention to a lot. You need to learn how to pay more attention to it. Take more action on it. You know what I'm saying? See it through. Be consciously aware of your dreams. So that's a little learning process with the sun and Mars. But here's your hidden gift when it comes into the houses. Now let's say you got it in you got the sun in the second house, and you got the sun in the second house, and then you got Mars in the fifth house. So now this is the square right here. You see what I'm saying? So with the square, what happens here is now this is your hidden gift. It becomes your hidden gift because your actions is in the second house. So the way you act and what you're consciously aware of is based upon your values, what you're valuing, whether that's a person, place, or thing. You see what I'm saying? And it's also revolved around what you have to offer to the world, whether it's a gift, talent, trait, or someone else around you, and things that you plant seeds in, and things of that nature. Now you're able to take all that energy and place that into the fifth house, how you express yourself. So you express yourself as a person who is of value. You know what I'm saying? And you even value the way you express yourself. Also, you value your creativity, which that's the fifth house. You value your art, your creativity, the way you express yourself and enjoy yourself, the things you are entertained by, and you feel like this is what you have to offer to the world also. So it's like you kind of learn, you learn before anybody else that, okay, I'm supposed to take what I have to offer to the world and express this. I'm supposed to take what I value and express this, or I'm supposed to make something creative out of it, or experience it, or make this enjoyable, or make it entertaining. And then vice versa. You take the way you express yourself or your creativity and you plant seeds. You take the fifth house and put it in the second house. Fifth house, creativity and the way you express yourself and how you entertain, and then you place it in the second house. You take those things and plant seeds. You value the way you express yourself. You value your creativity. You feel like this is what you have to offer to the world, and you end up being able to do that better than others. People, you don't even have to know your chart. You probably doing this to a small degree, but if you knew you was doing this, you would just jump on that. You would have all the confidence in the world to quit your job and be like, okay, now for sure this is what I was supposed to be doing. I always knew I was supposed to be doing this, but now I know for sure that whatever I'm doing now is blocking me from always doing this. That's how you're supposed to feel. You know what I'm saying? And then nothing won't be able to stop you. But I'm gonna stop this video because this camera like to cut my videos in half. But you know, flight boss, bitch, goddamn air. And I'm finna go. I know I ain't been on my emails for the past couple days and my Instagram because I've been trying to build my energy back up. But my energy is back up today. So you know what I'm saying. If you have, I get a lot of emails. So if you have sent an email, you had a net request. I'm finishing up the rest of y'all, and I'm gonna get to y'all today. And then we go on from there. You know what I'm saying? Flight boss, bitch, goddamn air.